Yeah. We run up, we all got somewhere to be. But not everyone got the drive to get done. This one's for the ones who move different, for the dreamers on wheels chasing purpose and a better life. Let's go. Let's go. She loading up before sunrise. He checking his tires under clear blue skies. They both got faith in a full tank. GPS locked up, the mission's clear. Just hustle and grace, we running it up, ain't no handouts. Just miles to chase from state to state. They carry the cargo dream. Teams are solo, they still supreme. We run it up, mile after mile. Faith in our heart, hustle is our style. We don't fold, we just shift them gears. Cargo dreams made the vision clear. We run it up, we don't do small things. Moving like legends, wearing unseen rings. Every route, every mile, every late night thing. We kings and queens, living cargo dreams. He's out east, she's holding it down in the west. Both on the grind, no time to rest. He vlogs a road, she runs a book. Together they're the story world overlooks. Coffee in the cup, gospel in the mix. Manifesting goals off my 66. This life ain't easy, but it sure feels free when you're driven with purpose and building a legacy. Late nights, gas stops, praying through the rain. Turning breakdowns into breakthroughs again and again. Every load, every lane, every mountain climb. It's more than freight, it's a frame of mind. Mile after mile, faith in our heart. Hustle is our style. We don't fold, we just shift them gears. Cargo dreams made the vision clear. We run it up, we don't do small things. Moving like legends, wearing unseen rings. Every route, every mile, every late night thing. We kings and queens, living cargo dreams. For the ones who left comfort for the calling. For the ones still pushing when the night keeps falling. You don't just drive, you inspire. You build your lane and they will follow. You living cargo dreams.
Yeah, my phone ding ding, that's another load. I lace my boots and hit the road. I don't waste time, I don't hesitate. Chasing paydays, I know God create. Hustle clean, hustle real, never cut no corners. Business booming from the city to the borders. When I feel tired, I remind myself quick. It's not luck, it's discipline mixed with grit. I'm on that money route, stacking up my wins, turn miles into paper. Do it all again, where I'm headed, only up, only through. Motivation in my pocket, faith in my shoes. On that money route, stacking up my wins, turn miles into paper. Do it all again, where I'm headed, only up, only through. Motivation in my pocket, faith in my shoes. On that money route, hustle loud, bank account shout, cover count. On that money route, hustle loud, bank account shout, cover count. On that money route. Overnight grind, sunrise grind. You gotta have heart, you gotta have clear mind. Some days slow, but the bills don't care. So I keep pushing with a warrior stare. Invest in my gear, invest in my brand. I'm building something bigger than a van. Her wealth ain't just money, it's habits, it's peace. It's knowing how to grow what God increased. No shortcuts, just truth and cloud. Stacking up my wins, turn miles into paper. Do it all again, where I'm headed, only up, only through. Motivation in my pocket, faith in my shoes. On that money route, stacking up my wins, turn miles into paper. Do it all again, where I'm headed, only up, only through. Motivation in my pocket, faith in my shoes. On that money route, hustle loud, bank account shout, bank account. On that money route, hustle loud, bank account shout, bank account. On that money route. On that money route. On that money route.
Not this again. Man, I swear I was about to say we was not gonna have them technical difficulties again, but that was my fault. I'm not the IT guy. I'm trying to figure it out. I was clicking the wrong button. But whatever. What's good, fam? Man. It's good to see y'all. I was sitting there. It's funny because I get to sit here and watch all these comments roll up. I was so busy jamming to the beat, reading the comments. I was like, oh yeah, it's about to go down tonight. In a good way. In a good way. Just like it went down yesterday at the first Houston meetup. Man, them grind setters showed up and showed out. Man, we had some good times at that thing. I was about to spare you the details, but I'm not. No. Because if I spare you the details, then you know what? You're going to have to be at the next one. I'll tell you that much. But the conversations we had in there, the stuff we talked about, and then, yeah, because I know tonight we were supposed to be talking about external analysis and all that. But after, talking to the fam at the meetup, and then, even had dinner with some of the fam, man. Had some of that good old steak. Ooh, I had Parmesan crusted lamb chunks, but that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, when we was talking, and then some of the one-on-ones today, and just questions in general I've been getting, I say before we talk about external analysis, we need to do an internal analysis. Because getting in any business, doing anything in life, you got to understand or have somewhat of understanding, because there's learning curves as you learn and go through stuff on the journey of whatever that success looks like for you. But you need to understand what you're getting into. You need to do an internal analysis. So we're going to push I know we did SWOT analysis last week. We're going to push external analysis down to next Sunday. And the reason being, in order to analyze anything in business, life, anything of that nature, you really have to take that deep look. Accountability, a reflection of yourself to know what you're getting yourself in, how you're going to do it. Because I see, and I'm starting to understand, again, this ain't no knock against anybody because we all learning, but I'm starting to understand why people have problems, not just in life, but in business. Now, granted, we can't stop everything. We're going to run into obstacles and hurdles, but when you see the repeated effect, and some of the conversations, you think about conversations you've had with loved ones, family, friends, just strangers you met in the street. And you're wondering, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I've in the past, I look at it different now. But in the past, I would look at some people and be like, how did you make it this far in life? Yeah. But now I understand it's not that they didn't know or weren't trying. They didn't have a clear understanding of how certain things worked. So with that said, before I get to going, we're going to holler at the fam. Because, I'm going to give you a story. That's how I talk. Oh, man. Stride Express is in the building. What's good, Cole? What's good? What's good, fam? Ooh, T up in that Canada. T, we missed you yesterday now. I'm going to tell you right now. You good over here with us. So whatever event you choose next, the ones, St. Louis up next, and then Cincy, then Atlanta. Don't go out there. I'm telling you now, so you can't say I didn't tell you. Don't go buying another ticket. You still good. That ticket is honored over here. We keep it going, fam. So just let me know which one you're going to, and I got you. Don't go out there and be like, I'm gonna just go pay for it. I'm telling T that because T be trying to get it, and she will go get it. I got you. We got you over here. We good. Oh man, what it do, grind fam? What's going on? The Quicks is in the building. You gotta speak to Cole and T. What's up, Alan? Green Mountain Trucking in the building, man. It was good to see you yesterday, Alan, man. You and your wife, man. It was amazing times. What's good? Trailblazer in the building. What's going on? Steady grinding music all the way. So you can't tell me you didn't. I know some people had stuff going on. We get that, but you can't say it was too far out of reach because Steady Grinding was in the Houston meetup yesterday, all the way from that ATL, baby. Hoo-wee, I love it. I love it. Matter of fact, what's going on, fam? What's going on? I like that van with the thumbs up. Hey, Alan, everybody's speaking. I love it. Catch you on the next meet, man. If you know anything about Steady Grinding and his wife and his family, his siblings, I wouldn't doubt if they show up to all of them. They came from Atlanta. Come on now, fam. They gonna probably go. Hey, man, 3 hours and 17 minutes from y'all. Be safe. I told y'all that already. I know we've been talking in the community, but be safe, fam. Get there safe. Get there safe. Maggers in the building. What's going on? Hey, Mr. G. Hey, hope all is well. Blessed and highly favored. I hope all is well with you. AT, looking forward to hearing about that cantaloupe. We all is, and I need pictures. I want to see everything, pictures, video, all that. Yes, we will see. See, I told you. So we already know this. Steady grinding coming from Atlanta to St. Louis. If they came to Houston, that was the farthest way in the circle. We talk about the circle already. But the farthest they had to go was Houston. They came the farthest. St. Louis and Cincinnati won't be nothing. And you know they're going to be in Atlanta. T, we need pics. Yes, we do. I don't have too many. I do have a couple of videos trying the food. I want pictures of the food too. I want pictures of that Canadian food as well. Hey, Margaret, what's going on? What's going on, King in the building? What's going on, Rich? What's going on? Boy, I swear I love her. Hope y'all, man, the time was amazing. We broke bread and everything. Now, granted, the bread we broke, it wasn't good as the bread that Mrs. Quick be over there showing us. But, man, don't worry. We're going to find out when we go to St. Louis. What's going on, fam? Everybody, it's great minds think alike. We had lamb chops. Ooh, man, them things are so good. I even got some left over. That's my dinner for tonight. Driving and doing roadie. But it's so good to be amongst greatness. Auntie, it was great seeing you and the fam yesterday. Can't wait to see y'all again. I'll probably see y'all up the street. I'll probably see y'all before then, but can't wait to see y'all again. Yes. Mine was lamb chops. I thought about getting the steak. I thought about getting the chicken, but I wanted the lamb chops because I had kept seeing them on TikTok and everybody was making them look so delicious, and they was. Hey, auntie. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Quick. Queen Quick. I don't want to get it misconstrued. And by the way, for those of y'all that don't know, we already sung it to them, but we're gonna do it again today. Because matter of fact, we're gonna do it right now, because the celebrity King Quick had the birthday. So we finna go and get that one out the way. We ain't finna forget about that right now. Let's do the song. Hey, we singing happy birthday to Mr. Quick. You with me? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Quick. Happy birthday to you. Hey, they had a good time. They was with the fam, but it was Mr. Quick birthday, and we is not letting it go. And don't be talking about my vocals. I'm singing the best I can. I'm trying out here. I could have hit the old school and been happy birthday, but we'll be here all day long, and I can't expose myself like that. For sure, fam. I appreciate you on the ticket. I got you. We got to get it. I'm stuck at the Orlando airport with delays. Might have to catch a ride up out of here with Mr. Drive Time. Well, you won't have to worry about that because Mr. Drive Time is in Florida. He actually is in Florida. Oh, man, Mr. Drive Time came the farthest than anybody. He came all the way from South Carolina, got his loads down, and I like the strategy. He's putting the strategy to use, and we'll talk about that later on. Do you use dispatch company or load board? I'm all load board, fam. No dispatch. I am the dispatcher. Like when I tell y'all about it, they be like, oh, we need team drivers. I am the team. Yeah, fam. It was good times yesterday. Loved every moment. Me too. Got $50. See, I didn't even think about that. I should have hit y'all with that because the Houston meetup was only 40. So it was like, got $40. That got you in the building. I hope I'll let them speak for it. I hope the fam that showed up felt they got their money's worth, but we'll find out. We're gonna find out. Thank y'all so much. Of course, we got to happy. We need the Steve. I can't with y'all. Happy birthday, fam. Gotta show the love to the king, Mr. Quick. Happy birthday, but you gotta hit the Stevie Wonder version. I am not finna be in here talking about happy. No, you is not. Let me stop. We need the Stevie Wonder happy birthday. I'm gonna let y'all sing it. Y'all ain't finna have me out here. Matter of fact, since y'all want to sing it so bad, I'm looking at some of these comments. Grind setters. When we do our live tomorrow night, y'all hit the Stevie Wonder version for Mr. Quick in there. We already sang it once, but since you want the Stevie Wonder version, y'all come in the live tomorrow and y'all sing it to Oh man, they killed me with team drivers, 800 miles on the large streets. Yeah, get me too every time. But that's understanding. That's understanding how the system works. We'll talk about that in a minute. To the fam, please charge it to my head and not my heart. If I miss saying greetings, Auntie, you don't get started in here. But yeah, let's get this thing rolling. So, like I said, we were supposed to talk about external analysis, but then conversations, one-on-ones, emails, just random comments that we get, and then information we talked about yesterday in the meetup. I realized that we got to talk about systems in general because I'm human. My mind works is where like I'm trying to show what I know and what I've picked up through the years. But then there's certain things, if I don't remember to say it, it's not because I was trying to intentionally not let you know. It's just part of my cycle in my head already. So it's like picking the stuff out like, oh, somebody needs this. Oh, we got to talk about this. So it bypassed my mind, my mental, like we're talking about building systems, creating systems so that you can format a strategy for you to win. But the issue that I see that keeps repeating and reoccurringly coming up is you're trying to build a system, but you might not understand the system that you're already in. Excuse me. And I'll give you a couple of examples so we get back to the business side. But in order to understand those system examples, I'll give you some. So, for example, that one just popped in my mind. We hear people talk about relationships all the time. Like, say, let's do marriage. And it'd be like, marriage is a piece of paper. Oh, you don't have to be married. It's better to be single. Like, you see the conversations I see, and we're not finna go down that route. But I think about the system of the government, and we're not getting political. We're just talking about the system on an over broad scale, not nitpicking. Do you know that the government system in the United States is built for you to have somebody with you, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a roommate, a partner, a brother, sibling, I don't care. It's built for two or more. It's not built for you to try to maintain and run it by yourself. That's why you don't see tax breaks for single people versus people that are married. Like, you see what I'm saying? That's why if something happened to you, pass away, God call you home, and it's just you, then all of a sudden your family fighting over all the stuff, and the government don't take so much money. And it's systems that were created. And understanding the system, since we're talking about government, you got to understand like how America, you think about elections. We operate on a 4-year system in America because every 4 years we got to do the election and all that stuff. Whereas other countries like, say like a Dubai or something, they operate on like a 50-year system. Like somewhere in like China or Japan, they operate on a 500-year system. In Africa, they operate on a 10-year system. So understanding what system you're in helps you understand how to build your system around it. And so remember, we've talked about it in the past, like tariffs. You've seen in transportation every year for election, the year of the election, things start to shift in transportation because we got to see who the next president going to be, because the system is going to change some. We just don't know how until the president gets in office and starts creating the system that party has, not going down that road. And the same thing goes with everything. You know, how you go through elementary, middle school, high school, and the college. That's all part of the system. And it's designed to say where you go into the world. So when you think about it, when we talk about what we're not taught in school, what we should be taught in school, you notice how in school they'll teach you like business management. They'll teach you about concierge, like they'll teach you how to manage it. They'll teach you about all these different management degrees, but they never teach you any of the ownership degrees, if that makes sense. Like you don't see business ownership. You don't see leaders like leadership management. They don't say leadership ownership. Like they don't put ownership behind it. It's always managing something. Why? Because they want people to come out to manage the system, the big system. And most people don't understand. I'm not trying to go deep in it. I'm just giving you surface level to start your mind of thinking. And we'll talk about the cargo van business and how that system works. I'm just giving you different options of how different systems are working. You've heard the saying, prison to pipeline, school to pipeline, prison system. You hear the different systems. That's all here and there. So now, as I go holler at the fam right quick before we dive into it, I want you to put that out for example. So we can dive in on the surface level, because this live is meant to get you thinking, not to dive in every single point, to get you looking at the system of business and the system of cargo van business, transportation business. Let's say that, because we got box truck fam in here, we got big rig fam that's transitioning over. So we're going to talk about the business side, so you can understand the internal look you need to take for yourself to do your research for whichever avenue you want to go down in business, to understand that system. Because if you don't understand the system, you can't build your system to create your strategy so you can win. But let me go holler at the fan right quick, and we'll tap right back into that. Where is I stopped at? Okay. You know, we got our money worth and then some. Man, I'm glad. That's what I was hoping. I'm not gonna tell what happened. Y'all can tell what happened. I put it on the screen, but I ain't going into detail, because you should have been there. Let's see. I appreciate your sincerity about the business. Could you give us how to get on load board? What do you mean, fam? Like how to get on? Like, I only use DAT. I know some people, speaking of systems, because we've helped different fam understand how to navigate DAT, because I've seen people say, DAT don't work. I don't see nothing. And it's because, not that it doesn't work, but there's a system for DAT. I'm going to give you a broad example. Say you got the DAT on your phone. You're holding phone, got the app, you're sitting in the van, and you're trying to find the load. Inside of that, you got to know, we just think brokers. And when they post stuff, I'm looking for it. Hopefully my dispatcher or my courier company send me something, or I'm looking for myself. But inside their system, there's times like when I say, don't do global trans. Global trans floods the board at certain times a day. It's like they have they might have an actual clause or a rule. I don't know about it, but they might have some, but you'll see them flooded through certain times a day. And then you'll see brokers flooded then certain times a day. And then there's certain regions that brokers are in: Midwest, East, West Coast. A vast majority of them operate off of East Coast time. The reason they do that, because think about the video I told you a long time back about understanding the stock market. When you're on the West Coast and you think you're sleeping in because it's 6 o'clock, well, it might be 6 o'clock in LA, but it's already 9 o'clock and on the East Coast, and they already been pumping out loads, and you've been missing them because you're asleep. So you got to understand the system inside DAT, and that's why some people miss so many loads. That's why you got to refresh finger. I told you that in the reel and the video. Sometimes part of the system you sitting there refreshing. Same with brokers, dispatchers, all that stuff. But I'm not going too deep. But just the DAT load board is what I got, and it's just the basic one. That's what you've been saying your boy run under and move under. So I don't know what details exactly you are looking for. I know we got the video that's out there about how to use the DAT load board and the different filters and stuff that I use. But I hope I answered your question. I don't know if I did, but if I didn't, let me know. Dunn and I went to the trucking convention, and it was really cool. Well, kind of cool. How was the meetup? Just got here. So I'm glad you said that, because this is a whole part of the system I was talking about. I'm gonna leave that up for a second, because I'm bringing it back down about understanding the system. The meetup, for one, was amazing. Went great. Broke bread. Had good food. Got to talk about a lot of different things that I don't even know how to explain it, because it was a whole bunch, and we was there for 4 hours, over 4 hours. So trying to talk it all in the YouTube, just say we covered a bunch of different things, understanding. We even tapped in a little bit about systems over there and knowing niches and all that stuff that you want to go down and understand why things work versus why they don't work, the seasons you're in. It was a time was had. BG offers a one-on-one for better understanding, and there's more than that as well. If you don't want to lose at this business, our community can help. Oh, okay. You talking. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about when fan posted this. So yeah, like the quick said, we got in the description is all the links, one-on-one books, how to join the community, the grind setters, all that's in the description. But yeah, go through the videos. The videos is like a starting point. Go through and catch them all up, because a lot of stuff will make more sense when you watch that. But we're gonna dive into this about how Louisville Cargo was at the trucking convention. So when you're trying to understand a system, what human nature tells us is, I'm gonna just do my own research I'm gonna go look up as much as I can, watch YouTube University. But even like I told you, we've made all the videos. We well over in the hundreds of videos. And then think about the topic right now. Do you understand the system? I can talk about SWOT analysis, which we did last week, or external analysis. But then my brain, when we were creating what we were going to talk about this year, it didn't even process that we need to do an internal analysis to see if you truly understand the system that you're trying to get into. And so when you watch YouTube videos or talk to different people on like randomly, that person might not even have enough time or remember certain information if you don't jog their memory, or if they don't have a course curriculum or something built out. And so in order to get all the information for the system, you either need to do a couple things. You need to go to some type of schooling for it, whether it be trade or actual college or something like that. You need to find a mentor or a coach or something. I normally go with mentor because a mentor is somebody that is already in that system and has navigated the system, or for not just a short period of time, but an extensive enough period of time. It can be different time lanes for different time frames for different people. So, for example, I use myself. Most people will see cargo van and think, oh, BG started a cargo van business with his family, and I've been in the system 3 years. When actually, if you look back and go over the stuff that I've done over the years, I've actually been in the system for over 20 something years. See what I'm saying? Like, man, I just looked at myself and told on myself, boy, now that I'm thinking about it, I want to do for 20. Wow. I've been in this system for 25 years. Who knew? So you only see the 3 years. So when I'm talking about a coach or mentor, the reason I say mentor first, because I don't know how to tell you about a certain coach, because certain coaches, because of the world we live in today, might say they're a coach and they don't actually know what they're doing. It's just they learned a few things from watching certain videos and they think, hey, I'm a teacher. When actually, and I'm not saying that about all coaches, because it's just a word play on words. Some people say mentor and don't know what they're talking about. So it could be mentor, coach, some type of teacher, somebody in that skill set. And the reason Louisville Cargo's comment made so much sense, because they went to the trucking convention. They put themselves in the room inside of transportation. Trucking is all transportation. And they put themselves in the room with the people that have been doing it and understand it. And then they got the network with other people in the room, sort of like the meetup. And it helps you build an understanding for the system. I'll give you an example. You heard people say, like I just said, 3 years for me, and then the business side of things, the stuff I learned in the past 25 years. Take somebody that, and I agree with to a certain point, when they like say, oh, college isn't necessary. And you've heard that. I've heard it a lot. And I think about it and I'm like, depends on what you're going to college for. If you're just going to college and you say, and this is not knocking nobody, if you say, I'm going to get a business administration degree. Okay, what are you going to do with it? That's what turns it of whether or not college means something a lot. Because some people will be like, go get the business administration degree and then come out and don't do nothing business administration. Plus, say, and I've been there too. I'm not even finna lie. I was in college and I'm not going to lie. I had a good time. Probably should have been networking a little more on the business side if that's what I was going to school for, which it wasn't. But it's crazy because that wasn't what I was going to school for, but that's what ended all my degrees by the time. Anyway, whatever. But most of us, let's be honest, we 18, 19, 20 years old. We're not thinking about the future like that. I'm not saying all some. We're not thinking about the future like that. So we're not networking in those communities like we should. How many of y'all that went to college actually went to all the different seminars? How many of y'all went to the job networks that came on campus? How many of y'all, because I know a few of them I didn't, because I slipped straight through them because of the night before. Shh, we ain't gonna go no details about that. But see what I'm saying? Like, so it depends, because somebody like me, even though I don't go work for a company, understanding business, I was able to go out there, utilize my business knowledge, my experience, and build one. The same way I'll use my wife. She did all the daycare and schooling and did everything. I remember being in the audience clapping as she got the different director degrees, bachelor's degree. I remember all that. And then we moved from one state to another, and they had a whole bunch of different requirements that if you didn't understand the system a little bit, those new requirements, would have threw her off. But she was like, oh, okay, I got to do this and that. I got to go get this. We was able to switch it around, and I watched her thrive. Why? Because she already had an understanding of the system. But the world we live in today, because of YouTube University, we see people come on and be like, I'm going to teach you how to make $50,000 a month doing X, Y, and Z. And we start watching and be like, I can do that. We talked about that. And we jump into that, and we have no idea how that system works. Like I watch people all the time say, who? They come right into the transportation world, cargo van and all that. And they be like, BG, go ahead. It's day one. How do I expand my fleet and grow my scale? Because we use the words. How do I scale and grow? And then I need them government contracts. And I'm just sitting there like, we bypassing a bunch of stuff that you don't understand. So I'll say government contracts. If I ask you right now, and I said, tell me what a 7B contract is. What is a 8A contract? Do you know the requirements that you need to meet to get an 8A? Do you know the things that will get you kicked off of a 7B contract if you don't do X, Y, and Z? Do you know, like 8A, for example, it requires a certain type of expertise, but if you just got in the industry and you've been doing it 6 months and you think you got a grasp on it, and you trying to go get a government contract, but then on top of that, you don't even actually know your CPM and then know how to do the CPM, but you haven't even put in enough time to get an RPM, because some people think you just get an RPM based off of the load you got, when actually a RPM is built over time through data that you collected by running different loads, and that creates your RPM. That's why I told you we had a 6-month RPM, and then we had a yearly RPM. I saw the 6-month RPM was at like 80 some cents. I knew I needed to tweak something to reduce deadhead miles by 15% and rate that RPM go up to 96%. But if I'm telling you all that off the cusp at the beginning, you'll probably be sitting there looking at me like I'm crazy, because you don't understand the system of transportation. And that's just surface level. We haven't even gone deep. That's why I told you a while back, like I can't just sit here and talk about all the information, because like yesterday, the meetup, that was 4 hours and we only touched this much. We tapped into a system, but it was this much because of what you can't take and think. I don't care who you are. You can't take and get 20, 30, because transportation been around for a long time. I might have expertise in business, but it still takes me to understand transportation and couple that with the business, the business degrees that people will tell you don't need. You need them depending on what you're going to do with them. But you can't take that and bundle it up and think somebody in a webinar or somebody that gives you a course, I don't care how many modules it is, or something like that, and you think you're going to watch it, obtain it, and understand the system. The reason I know that, because if that was the case, there wouldn't be anybody doing taxes. Everybody would do their own taxes, because most people don't even understand the system of taxes. We still working on tax write-offs. You see what I'm saying? So that's where you got to go, like a tax accountant or a CPA, when you're trying to get somebody to help you with your financials. You see the different things. Just because this business looks like good on the front street on YouTube and all that, if you're not connecting yourself, putting yourself in a room like Louisville Cargo and the trucking convention they went to, if you're not putting yourself in those rooms, you will never truly understand the system. And that's why you need to take that internal analysis, because we talk about how much you need to set aside to get in the business, for a cargo van, for insurance. But how much do you set aside for your development? Because you can't bypass the learning part at all. You can do the hard knocks learning and bump your head, but it's still going to cost you something. You're going to give that money away some type of way, whether it's wasting money as you bump your head, or if you decide I don't want to waste that money and you go get a coach, mentor, or if you go get a course and then find out who you want to work with, or if you go to school for it, or if you get some, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's how it works with a system. But in order to understand the system, you can't do it alone. The system that we live in, the world we live in, the world is a system. It wasn't designed for you to sit there and figure it out yourself. Remember, we talked about this when people be like, I get it out the mud. Yes, you might have got it out the mud. You probably did most of the work, but somebody held a door open for you. Somebody signed off on the loan for you. Somebody let you use a van or use some equipment to go to the studio. But you got to understand the system. I remember when I'll give you a quick snippet. One of the conversations that we were having with Steady Grinding Music was about the music industry, because it's business. It's all the same. If you don't understand the industry of music, you're going to probably lose money. You might not make it. your album, if you're doing a rapping or R&B singing and all that, because I know I'm not Stevie Wonder, but if you're doing singing all that and you don't understand the music industry, it'll eat you up. Your CDs won't come out. You get dropped from labels. It's all types of things that happen, but it's all part of business because you got to understand it. And you've seen rappers and R&B singers said this for years. Like, I had that first contract and that was a bad contract, or I had to drop 10 albums before I even got paid, or they were fronting me money that they took in the end, and now I got $3 to my name. That's because they didn't understand the system. And a lot of people that's in this cargo van, box truck, the transportation industry, the reason your money is looking funny because you didn't understand the system before you truly jumped in. But that's neither here nor there. We're already in the system now. And so now you got to figure out how to navigate this system according to what you want to do in the system. I'm going to give you an example when we come back. Let me get to hollering at the fan because we're going to break down a couple of things real fast before we get to diving off into the stuff. Let's see. Where did I leave off at? Okay, I left off here. I truly appreciate the Zoom call this morning. I got you, fam. I got you. That's what we here for. We got more talking to do. We got more talking to do. You ain't alone, but believe me, we gonna get you squared away. We got you covered. Is the DAT except new company? I am new to the business. I have been using dispatch companies. I would like to follow your model. So the DAT, as soon as your authority is active, you can go ahead and get a login. They don't just give it to you until you have an DOTR authority, DOT number or MC number. But you got to have that to even get on there. They accept it, and there's different companies that work with new authorities, like a TQL, a CH Robinson, people like that. They work with new authorities, but for the most part, most brokers don't want a year. But that's a part of that system. So part of the system and the way they designed it is because some might do 3 months, some may be 6 months. We just say the overall for the year for the maturity, because it's like anything else. You're new to the business, and people are inside the system are entrusting you with their cargo and their freight, and they need to know you know what you're doing. It's no different if you take your child. You wouldn't just randomly take your child and drop them off at anywhere and be like, hey, watch my kid, I'll be back. You're going to want somebody with some experience, right? You don't want to go somewhere like a restaurant and be like, hey, I'm finna eat at your fine dining establishments. And then you look on the wall, they don't have no certifications. They haven't been looked at by the health and food inspector. Those systems are in place for a reason. Depending on your industry, they make sense. Like I just said, health and food inspector. If that system isn't in place, there'll be a lot of people out here that'll be sick. There are a lot of people out here that's putting stuff out that they shouldn't be putting out, and we know that still goes by. There's a lot of things, allergies that people can have. You can literally kill somebody if you do the wrong thing in the food industry. Same with daycare industry. Like, it's different industry, and so the same goes in the transportation industry. If you don't understand the systems, you can literally hurt somebody. We see all the talking that goes around with what they're doing with CDL drivers and knowing how to speak English and all that. Because think about it, it's a system inside of that. So driving on the highway has systems. You got to know what the speed limit is, being able to read the signs, being understand what's going on and what side of the lane, the road to drive on. I remember my first time in UK, I had to ride with somebody because I wasn't used to driving on the left side of the road and the steering wheel being on the right side. That's a whole different system than I'm accustomed to. The signs read stuff different. Like, you see what I'm saying? So yes, you can get some that'll work with you in the beginning, but overall, you're going to need that 12 months to when you start really seeing things flip over. But that's the learning curve. Let's see. Clear your DAT mobile searches, log in to DAT1 of the computer, exclude global trains from searches, search your coming lanes, example Dallas to anywhere, log back into your mobile, edit that search for new search. So what Rich just explained to you is a system, and I'm saying this because we started this years ago, and I remember when we'd be popping on people like Rich and the rest of the family, we all sitting there like talking to each other like this on live. Anybody know how to use this DAT? How you using it? What you doing? Is it good? What factoring company works best? We were doing all that. And here we are in year 3. When we were talking years ago, Rich being one of them, we didn't know none of this about searching and logging out. It's the It's the tips and tricks of the tool of the trade that you learn as you go. No more global trend shows up. Exactly. I say it, but it don't. I get it. I'm glad you're saying it right now. Will We call you coach because you place us in a position to win at any stage we're in. Appreciate it. We going to the ship. Oh man, I appreciate preach. So true. Pay now, pay later. Man, that was one of my my granddaddy used to say it all the time, I guess, to my daddy, because my daddy used to say it to me. And so I'm assuming because I've heard my granddaddy say it to me a bunch of times. He say life has a price tag. It's up to you to choose when you pay it, because they coming for it. You either pay now or pay later. So for me, when my dad was like, you going to the military, remember I told you, our parents, we can't hold them for what they didn't know that we know now, because a lot of things wasn't available back then. There wasn't no social media. It wasn't all the devices that you hand where you can Google. Like, y'all remember some of us had to do research papers and go through the Rolodex thing in the library, find the card, go to find the book, check it out. Like all the stuff when he pushed me to the military, because he always told me pay now, pay later. Those that were at the meetup yesterday, that's one of the things I say. I'm more of like a reverse lazy. I'm gonna work and grind and put in the work in the beginning so I can sit down and do nothing in the end. That's what I do with tasks. Don't worry, it's bad because sometimes it causes me to procrastinate. That's one of my flaws. Don't judge me. And I see you judging me with those judgmental eyes. So he was a pay now, pay later. The whole thing when he was pushing me to the military, things had went awry in college. And so when it came to the military, he was like, hey, here's one thing. You finna put this work in now, because then you'll be retired before you're 40. Even when year 4, I'm getting out of here. Year 6, I'm done. Year 10, you halfway there. That was that phone call that was in my ear every time when I was feeling some type of doubt. You almost there. You're almost. And then things started to shift when around year 10, when the right mentor, coach, the right supervisor, leadership that understood the military system, the government system, they grabbed a hold of me. And after that, the next 10 years of my military career, the first 10 was just this. My head was a ping pong, just bouncing off everything. When they got a hold of me, I might have been paying. Remember, it's understanding the system. My dad saw life system, get to retirement. I got in, I'm thinking I'm getting to retirement. But then inside of that, those coaches, mentors, leadership, after year 10 of bouncing around, because I would have kept bouncing around, they got a hold of me and explained and showed me the ropes, because I was paying for it then in the military system. But by the time they got a hold of me and taught me the military system, all this stopped happening. I started banging my head on the wall and this started happening. I started going up. So that's how you build that success, because you're going to pay now or you pay later. And we see so many people in the world right now, and I'm not trying to make nobody feel some type of way. We just got to talk truth. That's why it's called internal analysis. That accountability hurts. Some people didn't pay in the beginning. They was like, oh, I'm going to just go get a regular job. I'm going to have fun. I'm good making this. They didn't understand the government system. And now that it's shifted, and don't get me wrong, I don't agree with how it's shifted. I'm not saying that because I don't. Now that it's shifted, they're paying for it later, and they could be in there. It doesn't, because everybody's pay later looks different. They can be paying for it in their 30s, 40s, 50s. We see some retirees saying, I can't even afford to retire. So you see people still having to work at an older age when they should be retired. They're paying later because the system that was designed the way it's designed and work, because it's working how it's supposed to work. Remember that video I told you, like your life is working exactly how you built it. If you don't like it, you need to rebuild it. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. You need to rebuild it. And you see some people, I've seen them. They'll be like, hey, I'm not paid enough. They might be in their 30s. I'm going to get this degree so I can go get this next level of promotion, hit these promotion marks. I've seen enough. I'm going to get this trade. I already know how to do carpentry stuff. I already know how to do HVAC, but nobody will work with me because I'm not certified. So let me go get this trade and start my own HVAC. You see what I'm saying? Some people pay now and find that in the middle. Remember I told you the dash line, make it a plus. They find out real fast, oh, I know the system now, and I need to do X, Y, and Z to get ahead. Some people refuse to and stay stubborn, bumping their head like I was, because I was stubborn, and now they're going to pay later. So, yeah, pay now, pay later. I'm not on selectors. I only use DAT. No, he only – sorry, fam, I'm playing catch-up. Yellow, what I miss? You ain't miss nothing, son. You ain't miss nothing. We just talking about systems. Talking about systems. Never seen so many SV partials on DAT. Cheap freight still gets no space. So remember I told you, matter of fact, I'm because of Ditto Rich. I hadn't got to that. I'm about to go outside tomorrow. You know, I normally tell you this stuff when I go outside. So I'm going to tell it to y'all in the live now. So that I'm going to tell it to you in the live now, and I'm not going to talk about it in another video. Maybe not. But we're going to talk about it because that's understanding the systems. There's a reason you're seeing so many Sprinter van partials on DAT. The reason is most brokers, the system is changing. Back in the day, it used to be FTL truckloads. Now it's like we've seen it shift to LTL truckloads. We talked about how companies, because of supply and demand, are shipping things out in smaller batches, 1 pallet, 2 pallets, 3 pallets, 6 pallets, depending on what you're trying to get. And we've seen the shift. The system is changing. And so because of the need for, I told you about Amazon, next day freight and all that stuff, final mile, the final mile is getting longer. And because of that, they're looking at us, the Sprinter vans guys, the smaller guys. And so with that being said, they're looking at us because 2 reasons. One, you see everything going on with CDLs and people getting all the 200,000 and all that CDLs going out of getting taken away. And some states, they're having to redo the test. Some schools, there are certain schools that are even getting their certifications taken. So that means the drivers, the people that were going to that school got to go find a new school, and people that were on the waiting list got to get their money back because the system is changing because of all the issues. And one of the issues being different wrecks, freight being held up. So they had to find a way to get their stuff by. And so brokers are doing a spin and they're looking at us like parcels, like I only got this small thing. You could throw something else in there. And it's like, I get what you're saying, but they're learning the new system too. It's not just us. They're in a learning curve too, because now we can't fit as many as a box truck. We obviously can't fit as much as a dry van. So they think, hey, we can just partial this and put it on a Sprinter van. That's one reason. And they say, hey, you can just grab something else. And it's like, no, I can't. This is like 500-600 miles and it's dropping off in the middle of nowhere. There's not a sometimes you can get blessed with that picking up 2-in-1 loads, the Texas double up. But for the most case, you normally can't. And they haven't figured that out yet. That's one thing. The second one is they put it like that because AI, we talked about AI already. And inside of the different systems of AI, they're building different things and apps and stuff that makes it where it can ping the load board and know different rates and different weights and sizes and different partials. And so versus full load. And when it says that, because normally if it says full load and says, say they put Sprinter van full load, $1.15 a mile, the broker's phones are going to start ringing off because the AI is going to start. The companies already have it put in place to start hitting them up. We talked about this. Got this information from brokers. And so what they do is reduce it. So I'll give you one. Remember that video I did where I had that little small round thing and I like waved it across the phone like this? And I was like, this our load. The broker put that on the board at 9 feet, 1,000 pounds. Partial. Why? Because they needed it there next day. So they paid a little bit more for the dedicated rate once I got the negotiating, but it stopped the AI from calling it. So it depends on the broker. Sometimes the brokers don't know what they're doing, so they put partial because that's why they put it there, because they're used to box trucks and big rigs. And then sometimes remember how I told you all the filters that we put it in, SB, straight box truck, van, reefer, all those different things. We talked about DAT. That's because some brokers, again, might not know what they're doing. Just put it there because that's where they normally put their freight. But then some brokers are getting smart and understand the AI stuff. So they put it there so that the true people that have learned the system and know how to navigate the system will find that load because they know what they're looking at. Because most Sprinter van people might come in and just put SV because they don't understand the system. And they're like, I never see any loads. And it's like, because you haven't looked under straight box truck. You haven't looked under van with team. I am the team. And seeing those loads pop up that would fit in your vehicle, and they still will be partial. If you look at most Sprinter van loads, they're dedicated for us, but because of how the system designed, remember I told you, we're in the system, but they don't look at us like we're in the system. That's why some majority of Sprinter vans don't have to go through, don't have to have certain requirements like ELD because we're in the system, but we're not. But that's a whole nother story about the ELD. But we're not in the system. So they label it like that for multiple reasons. The only thing is you need to know how to, because I don't care if you label it partial. I don't care how you label it. It's always full in my mind. The price is always full. They can label it all they want to. I'm gonna hit my number, but the only way you know how to read through that, know how to hit your number, to even know what your number is, you have to understand the system. And then when you understand the system, you can create your system inside of that, if that makes sense. I have selectors. It's expensive, but it's good for loads. For full loads, that is good, but too many partial full loads go quick and are consistent and constant. Lots of cheap brokers, cheap freight. Yes, I agree. It's all about you knowing your number. Of course, we want the bigger number, but when I'm doing stuff, I'm hitting the numbers I need over here, and it's a lot of teaching purposes, anything. It's crazy because I'm trying to explain that on the live. The grind set is the people in the community get what I'm saying, because it's like the teaching thing. It's one of them understanding the system. I'll use myself again. Understanding the system of how things work and people work. I understand in a system. I'll use myself for example. For those of you that are over here on the YouTube live, those of you that are in the community, those of you that I've done one-on-one with, those that have purchased different books and stuff, me understanding how the system works, it's like advertisement or commercials or something like that. It works the same type of way. In order for me to help you the right way, in order for me to help you and show you what my experience in helping you, I have to actually jump into the system. I say that because I've seen people that got the YouTube. I've seen them. I've talked about people that have hit us up and told us about what they got information-wise. Somebody might be like, hey, I'll teach you this. And they've never done it before in their life. So they're taking your money, but then they don't help you with the system. So with that being said, when you understand the system, you're able to help people. That's why I jump myself into the system. But it's different levels of different parts of the system. Remember, I can sit here and talk on YouTube and give you all the stuff that I can, but it's one thing about YouTube that I love, but one thing that I don't like. I love that we can get the information out, but knowing what I've learned over the years, I'm going to be honest. I'm always transparent. I only give out so much. I don't deep dive a lot into a lot of stuff. Why? Because I don't like scammers. And I'm not telling, don't get in the chat and start calling out who y'all think scammers are. Don't do that. I don't like scammers and I don't like frauds. And I've watched YouTube University to know where I can see when people make content and push that, come take my course. I've seen that. And I'm not calling nobody out. I'm talking about in general. It could be somebody doing taxes. It could be somebody doing financial advising. You've seen them, those people say, and you looking at them like, man, they out there getting it. They making all that money. They showing their houses, their cars, and then 5 years later, they going to jail for fraud. It takes time for the system to build a RICO case on somebody. And so I understand that, but I don't want the scammers to get ahead fully. You can't stop everything, and you're going to piece together stuff all the time. But I only give out so much, and I'm telling me, I'm transparent moment. I only give so much for the simple fact I'm not over here to help the scammers and the fraud people to become super, 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 super duper rich. But the meetups, like how we had one, the trucking convention, you can go in there, but and it's not saying it's not a possibility. There's always a possibility for anything. But most of the time, you're not going to see people in there. Like you introducing and networking, that person say, hi, I'm the scammer. I'm just here to get all the information I can so I can go back and get people out their money. It happens here and there, but it's likely. Not too many scammers going to be like, I'm finna join that community and pay this yearly amount and then run off. It's possible. It's possible. But for the most part, they don't. So it's only so much you get. And if you look, because I don't know, it might be the security mind in me from the military. I actually break up the information and piece it and put it everywhere like a puzzle. If you actually listen to the videos when we talk, I talk to you in puzzle format because I understand AI picks up words. And I don't want the scammers and the fraud people to pick up words of what we're talking about and then take the information and go. That's why I talk analogies. That's why I talk in stories, because the AI doesn't know my story. They might piece it together over time, but that's why I do what I do. And that's why it's so many different places for you to gain more information, because I use one like the one-on-one. When I'm helping somebody on a one-on-one, that's one-on-one. Unless that person goes telling everybody, nobody will understand what their system that they're trying to build. They don't understand the systems that we explain, because inside the system, it can go a bunch of different ways. You can go OTR, you can go regional, you can do gig apps, you can go get contracts, you can go do final mile, you can do, when I say contracts, you can get shipper contracts, you can get direct broker contracts, you can get government contracts, you can get port contracts. It's different ways you can do this. It's just understanding the system that you're trying to get into. And without understanding the system, most people do the one thing. They jump in and think, I'm going to get this van, I'm going to drive all over the United States, and I'm going to make a whole lot of money. And then when they're wondering why it's not making money, they don't understand the CPM, they RPM, they don't understand how to convert their cost of living. They don't know how to make the system work for them, knowing what area they need to stay in, what region, what state. They don't understand mileage of different regions, because like I told you before, Texas to El Paso is a long way away, but it's in the state. So you might think, okay, I'm still in Texas, but no, it's go to Atlanta, I'm across a whole bunch of states, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia before I get the same distance. But that's understanding the region, understanding the system of how, where stuff goes to and what it doesn't goes to, who in the system produces what, who exports what. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's so many ways to navigate this thing. But if you don't understand the system, you can't build a system or a strategy to help you win and succeed, because you don't understand the system. Yeah, that's how. I know that was a lot. Let me holler at the fam. That was a lot. Let me go back up here. Let's see. Where did I stop at? They are trying to put them parcels in box trucks. Of course, they are. They are. That's why you have to know your numbers and know how to negotiate the load off the box truck into the cargo van. So off of your number. And granted, I know we all want the most money, but most people aren't gonna, for a spot market. For a spot market, most of them, unless it's some hot expedited stuff, not gonna pay you box truck 18-wheeler numbers. You can get those with contracts and direct brokers and all that stuff, but most times spot market, yeah, you're trying to get those lows off of there, but you got to know what you're looking for and know how to negotiate them. I have selectors also, and no luck yet. Hey, it's time. It's a building thing. That's why we said the year thing. But I'm not gonna lie. Y'all seen y'all. It might look compiled up on YouTube now, but I'll go back. It's like, say year one, got the first load in April. I didn't get the second load till May. Didn't get the third load to the end of May. It started slow because I had to figure it out. We had to find out how the system worked. I didn't understand. You see me. I ran all the way to California and all these different places. I didn't know how the system works, so I had to be your test dummy so I can figure it out, because that's the only way I knew how to explain it. Such good information. Appreciate you, Cole. Appreciate you. I'm trying to master sending these emails on selected. Now, I don't know how to send emails on selected because I don't have selected. I know how to send emails on DAT, and I know how to send when you're trying to find a contract or you're trying to work with a direct broker. I know that type of email stuff. I haven't even seen the selected email. I know how to format emails, but I don't know what it looks like on selected to explain it. The Sprinter van parcel I've been seeing are across country. They just trying to finagle. Mainly the rate is determined by how far it's going, where weighted and when. So yeah, you got to watch that, because brokers, they'll try to be like, but it's only one pallet and it's only 200 pounds, or it's a real small pipe that's only 5 feet long and it weighs 15 pounds. And I'm like, my van do not know the difference. Chip don't care. He just know that gasoline got to go in them and we got to drive. I know my time. I understand the system. I don't knock nobody to take what you want. But over here, which we'll dive into later when I give you a snippet. When I'm saying $1 a mile, it didn't dawn on me till in the meetup, talking to the fam. When I'm saying $1 a mile, y'all are thinking just get it for $1 a mile. No, I'm talking about understanding the system. So actually, after you do your costs and all that stuff, by the end of the year, your RPM needs to be $1 a mile. So I apologize when I was explaining that, and I'm like, y'all don't know. Your RPM needs to be. So that's what I mean. Like, I didn't know to explain it that way until we got in the meetup and somebody was talking about it. And I was like, oh no, that wasn't the meetup. That was inside the community. When I said I made the RPM go from 80 some cents from the first 6 months to by the end of the year, it was at 96 cents. But at the same time, the last 6 months were over $1. It just averaged out to 96, 97 cents. But understanding that, like now through this far through the first quarter of the year, we already got the RPM over $1 a mile. So when I'm saying $1 a mile, that's what I mean. But when I'm watching the people comment saying, they running for cheap freight. And it's like, what are y'all talking about? Now I understand, because they like, we need $1.50, $2 a mile, but then they don't understand that their COL and everything else plays into place, and then they end up running. They might get a load for $1.70, but not understanding the system by the time they're through spending money and paying with it. And I don't know nobody. I'm just using examples. They RPM turns out to be 80 cents, where they looking at me and they're like, you took that freight for $1.30. And I'm like, yeah, because I knew what it'd take to move it inside the system. And by the time it's all done at the end of the year, you're seeing me take loads for $1.30, somebody else taking them for $1.70. But because of the understanding the systems and the systems I put in place, my RPM ends up being $1.01, and your RPM ends out the year at 83 cents. So it looks cheap in the beginning. That's why I told y'all them baby bags add up, because you got to understand the system. Make templates. Yes. Talking about emails. Are you open to a one-on-one with BG? You won't regret. Yes, I did the template and auto-filling some info before I hit that send button. I'm hearing people are getting some apps that link to selectors that will help send emails quicker, like Load Connect. So that you just proved my point. I'm not, again, I don't use selectors. So, but I know it happens on DAT. That's why I told you about the copy paste method. I told y'all that in another video. So people are creating apps daily of how to not just move faster, but to get stuff done faster at a better process, a better rate. That's the part of growth. And so when that happens, the system starts to change some. They gotta, sometimes things take a little time to catch up, but when it catches up, they put stuff into place to change the system. I don't know for a fact, because I just hear what people say when they're talking about when certain people jumped into the industry and they ran the race down, whatever. I'm not going down that route. And then it was like, these people will take this and these people will take that. And then the government already had a system built in transportation, but it wasn't to accidents and certain things start happening. Then they jumped in and say, I got to start fixing this. And then AI came along and they like, okay, we need to know how to filter this out and see what I'm saying? You literally said it with they're making different apps to send emails quicker. That's part of how it works. And so you got to know the system, be able to adapt the system as in your system. Like the system's going to ever change. That's another video about change being constant. I'll do that in another video. But as it continues to change, you have to have fluid systems in place. And I'll give you an example of me again. When I was telling people I calculated my CPM off for $3 a mile, even though gas was $2.30, $2.40 and all that back then, probably like, why? Because I understood the system. I understand how gas fluctuates during the summer. I understand how gas fluctuates because of government during the war. I understand how gas fluctuates during when the market shifts and changes. I understand that. So I had to put that inside of it. So now I'll give you an example because of where gas is shot up, because things normally don't come back down too far. It's going to come down some, but throughout the year as I'm watching it, I've already started increasing my CPM to include not just $3 a mile, $3 as my gas mark for my CPM. I've already bumped it up to $3.25, depending. That's because I was getting gas at $3.09, $3.16, $3.15. So I bumped it up to $3.25. Throughout the year, depending on how I change, I'm going to alter my system again, and the gas might go to $3.50. I don't know when I put it in my CPM, because I need the overhead in case the system does something else that I can survive the business while everything is going on. But that's first, got to understand the system. You are so right. That's why I pray for God to bless you and your business. You are so simple and honest. Thank you for being patient with us with the question. Nah, fam, I was once you. I still am you. I still ask questions. I still reach out to people. Like, I'm the same way. So I still do research. So no, that's what we're here for. That's why I say what I said, because I want to help. And I like that people like you are receiving it. Fam, is good, but got to keep in mind, I see the names in the comments, but I'm not crazy. I see 34 of us watching now, and it's a couple days from now, this live gonna have 400 something, 500 something views in the next couple days. Comments won't really change except the ones in here. So somebody's watching, and I can't tell who it is. So outside of when y'all talking to me, it could be anybody watching. I hope they're all good people, but I live it. My mind works different. I know it sneaks in and out. So I'm glad it's working for you and helping you, fam. You need something. That's what we're here for. I have the DAT load board, and I've gotten a few loads from it, but now I'm trying to master this selectors load board. That's what you're supposed to do. I agree with having multiple boards, but eventually you're going to have to master one, because if you just put all your eggs all over the place like this, we're talking about system. You can't create a system if your system is, as I can call it, controlled chaos. if you're sitting there, I use gig apps. I've seen people say I'm multi-apping, and I just sit there. I've tried it because I gave it a try when I was doing gig apps, and I learned real fast that no, I'm running myself in circles and I'm burning myself out. And so I had to find a system that worked for me. That's when y'all saw me doing DoorDash at certain times a day. You saw me doing Amazon Flex on certain days because I didn't do Amazon Flex every day. It all depends on the system of how I built it according to VHO. So if I knew my VHO route, example, because once you get VHO back then, I would know my VHO route, and then I would get an Amazon Flex route based off of the VHO route. So I was knocking two birds out of one stone. We're not going down there right, but it took me understanding the system. So I'm glad you picking to select this or whatever load board y'all decide to master that. I bid, call, then send follow-up emails. That's Rich's system. See how I got a three-phase thing? It's a system. You got to create it, but he was only able to create it because he started understanding how Selectus work. I see a broker will post a pallet on DAT for $1,700, then the carrier will grab it and repost it for $700 for a box truck. It's double brokering. That'll never stop, but you got to know who those people are. And over time, because if I don't think I did it, one day I probably will. I mainly run with the same like 10, 12, something like that. I don't know the exact number. Brokers, and some I just get out the way. I don't even look at it because I know I'm not going to waste my time. Do you put the price that you're building on the subject whenever you send an email? He's talking to you, Rich. Price miles out MC number. Okay. They're talking about Selectus. Rate, MC number, truck type and dimension size, max weight capacity, current location, team or solo, transit time, dedicated unit. Is this unit empty now? Put in the notes area too. So this is what the email looks like. I'm leave that up for a second so y'all can catch it, pause it if you need to, come back and rewatch it. But that's what he does. That's what Rich does on Selectus. Transit equals miles divided by 65. They talking about transit time. So that's how you find out how far out you are. BG, go ahead and put that gas at 29, how it's looking. I told y'all pretty soon I ain't going to need that gas. I'm going to have a bicycle and go get me a radio flyer wagon, and I'm going to drag it around. What are you charging per mile on the DAT load board? So, again, we say the dollar, but it fluctuates because no matter what you say you won't do, because we're talking about if you're talking about spot market. Matter of fact, I'll leave that up there for a second. We're talking about spot market. Contracts and getting contracts and working with direct shipper is a totally different thing because we keep saying DAT and Selectus. So we're talking about spot market. And so to do the spot market, you got to understand your regions because different regions and states do different things. That's why we talk about the up north versus down south versus the east versus the west, like different regions. For example, obviously I wouldn't have my rate per mile would be different in California and New York versus my rate per mile, I don't know, in Mississippi. It's knowing where you're at, knowing where you're headed, because that also affects the rate. What if I'm going into the middle of nowhere, Nebraska, which I'm not doing, but say I'm going into the middle of nowhere and I know I got to get up out of there. My rate, I have my bottom line number that when I say to get it at, for example, my bottom line number also, it kind of that's I know the rate I need for my RPM to be at the end of the year. So when I'm saying $1 a mile, obviously every single load, because you want to keep the mills moving. With the gas prices right now, say the spot market, again, it changes. So this is not a firm number. It's $1.15, $1.20, $1.25, somewhere up in there. Let's just say $1.25. Because of the market you're in. Obviously, if I'm in Florida, which I'm not going back down into Florida, trying to get a load out of Florida for $1.25 on the spot market is it's once in a blue moon. It's possible, but it's once in a blue moon because that's Florida. But if I say $1.25 and I go to, I don't know, Ohio, I'm cheating myself because I can get the rate higher than $1.25 in Ohio. That $1.25 is normally like a Texas triangle number, if that makes sense. So that's like my bottom end to keep my rate per mile right by the end of the year. But it also changes because the gas might fluctuate. Because before the gas prices fluctuated, it was at like $1.15. It was actually $1.13, but I rounded up to $1.15 to keep my rate per mile up. And that's the spot market again. That has nothing to do with direct broker loads. That has nothing to do with contracts. It's understanding the spot rate market. And you can say all you want about what number you want to have, and what number you're going to go after. And people might talk about you, who cares? But on the spot market in a cargo van, unless it's some hot expediting, the system doesn't work that they're going to pay you in the spot market the same thing or more than they pay a dry van. If the dry van in the area or the region that you're in, and that spot market for that dry van is $1.80, I'm just making up a number right here. I'm not going through the exact thing. $1.80. You can't expect that broker on the spot market to be like, I need $2. But at the same time, depending on the region you are and where you're going, like that load you see me get in Kentucky for 3 miles for $300. You see what I'm saying? It's understanding, negotiating what you got to do to get it, going to the airport, going to the port, got to use TWIC card, got to use TSA certifications. Different things change your price, if that makes sense. So you can have your set number, but I don't want to give you a set number because that set number might not work for you. If I tell you $1.15, $1.25, but then you do your CPM and your COL and you combine them together and you're already at 90 cents, then you might need to be at $1.45. You see what I'm saying? Like, it all depends on the person. It changes each one's, but that goes back to understanding the system again. And the part where I tell you, not just learn from other content creators, pick up information from everybody, but get your receipts and verify and go either take a course. Like when I say course, I'm talking about school type course, not just some random person you just came across on LinkedIn or Indeed or somebody video said they did this. I'm talking about get receipts. You might need to take a course. It could look like a trade school. It could look like a college. They got certifications for all types of stuff. You can go find a mentor or coach or something that is already in the industry. Find a like-minded community. And I don't mean the Facebook group communities. I know they're there. I've seen them. I've been in there too. And it's too many people just throwing their opinions in there that have no idea what they're talking about. Not naming no particular Facebook group, but the same way you can go in there and answer the generic Facebook questions, so can the scammers and the fraud people. And I try to stay away from them. So yeah, find you somebody that's verified, find you a school that's certified or something to get you that help you need. Find you that community of like-minded people, not the scammers and the fraud people, so that you can understand the system, so that you can create your system to develop your strategy so you can hit success. Yeah, but I hope y'all understand that what I meant with systems. Like, I know that was a lot. I know it's throwing all over the place, but I needed to tell you to understand the system so that when we talk next week about the external analysis, I need you to already have done the internal analysis, doing the research, finding who to talk to, how to build your system around the markets you want to be in. What are the different markets? Understanding that so that you can understand our external factors for that. I'll give you an example. Like, if you think you're finna understand the internal systems and build your business off a gig app, that's going to be impossible. It's not, your external factors are beyond your control. That's what it means. So with that being said, I'll tell you an example. Gig apps, they normally are higher in certain markets. They're normally higher when they're just starting. Once they get the certain amount of people, which you will never know that number, when they get that certain amount of people that they want inside that market, then all of a sudden the prices go down because not everybody's fighting for the same gig. See what I'm saying? So I say the same thing about spot market. Once you understand it, everybody's fighting for that same load, but guess what they're not fighting for? Once you go out there and get that direct contract, that direct broker that calls you, the load I'm picking up tomorrow, direct broker calls me every single time for these types of load before he even thinks about putting it on the board. Only way, if somebody ever sees it, I'm going to make sure you watch the video. If you ever see the type of stuff that I'm putting in your video in this area, 9 times out of 10, if you track the video enough, you'll be like, oh, BG wasn't there. When you see what I put in there, and if you're to catch on from different other videos that we've done, you'll be like, I got that load from this area because BG wasn't there. Because if I'm here in this area, in my market, they're going to call me first. They've called me first every single time for like the past year and a half. And if I'm not there, then they put it on the board. One time, he would send me an email and I didn't see it right away. And I replied back like 20, 30 minutes later. And he's like, man, I'm glad you replied. I really just put this on the board and I already got over 80 emails. He said, but I don't have to reply to him now because I just seen yours and I got my load. But if I would have waited a little longer, he would already gave it to somebody else. But that's all because of the system I built. I don't want contracts. I don't want to stay doing gig apps. I'll do it for fun or to waste time or Matter of fact, I got y'all a video because I went back out to look at a couple of gig apps because the questions that I was asking, and I'm gonna do a couple of them later on throughout the year to verify the information to see if it helps you or doesn't help you in that gig industry. But for the framework and the system that I'm running, my system doesn't deal with contracts. I'm not going to get a government contract. I don't want a direct shipper contract. I don't want that. That's not what I want. I can explain and show you how to do it. I understand how to build templates to talk to people, email templates and all that stuff. I understand the negotiating tactics. I understand what you need for government contracts. I understand all that stuff. But that's not what I want to do. Over here, you're going to see me running the spot market freight. Why? Because, two, I feel like I can help more people that way because more people operate on the spot market rate. And then as you get an understanding of that system, if you're in one of those communities, you'll understand how to transition from that system to get to direct shipper, to get to direct broker, to get to making your own contracts, to get to the point where you're an owner operator, to the point where you know how to slowly remove yourself from the operations because your business now can run without you, or get to the point your exit strategy might be, I built this business up and now it's worth this much money and I can exit this business and have this much money and retire and go live my life with my family. I know how to get you through all that. I just don't want to do it that way. I'm just using spot market so I can help teach you the stuff that I learned and help show you, because that's part of the system that majority of y'all are going to go into because of YouTube videos that you see. But yeah, I'm not gonna keep rambling. You get it. Now you got some homework to do for yourself before next Sunday. You got to start doing that internal analysis so you can understand the different systems. So when we talk about the external analysis next week in the live, you'll know what those external analysis is that can hinder and throw your business off from reaching success, because you already understand the internal analysis of how the systems that you choose works. But let me go over here and holler at the fan before I get up out of here. Because, you know, I know some of y'all on Friday, already on them Friday, pick up Monday, drop off. I know some of the fam that was at the meetup, like Mr. Drive Time, probably sleep because he drove and got to Florida. But I know some of y'all like me got the Monday pickups. Let's see here. Get receipts, fam. BG, I need to schedule a one-on-one next week. Hey, fam, the link is in the description of all the videos live. Even if you go to the main content page, it's in the description, one-on-one link. Some places like New York, New Jersey, know they got to pay, but a place like Cali with expensive gas has such low rates. Typically, the more miles, 2,000 plus, I'll charge a little less because everyone is bidding. Yes, exactly. It's knowing your numbers and knowing what you need to hit. You're on fire today, VG. Hey, I'm sorry. I try not to do that, but it happens from time to time. Man, them Carolina boys back in the building. What's going on, delivery guy? Howdy. Rate to mile in New York ain't the best compared anywhere else. That's for sure. It all depends on where you're at. That's what I'm saying. The delivery guy, what's good? What's going? Got OC in the building. What's going on? Just tapping in, BG and fam. Yo, BG, me and my lady just got the blueprint book a couple days ago. That's what I'm talking about. In order to build your blueprint, you got to understand the blueprint. That's what we over here talking about. I think that's why we're here. That's what we're here for. Peace, fam. I just bought a 2021 Ford T250 high roof extended. Man, congrats, fam. You already on the motion. Nah, that's what I'm talking about. Congrats. Look at everybody throwing up the congrats. I love it. Boy, I love them. Congrats is coming in. Congrats, fam. Man, the fun is just beginning. OTR to Dallas, Texas. God bless everyone. Hey, good thing about it, knowing the system, you're going into the number one system in Texas. You're going to drop that load and get them bags coming out. I'm proud of you. New to the lives, will be scheduling one-on-one. So, man, fam, appreciate you, man. Y'all always showing love and blessings. I appreciate you, fam. I appreciate you. Thanks. I'm in NC. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of fam out there. Like, make sure you continue to do the networking, find out stuff how I work in NC and NC, North Carolina. You be surprised. A lot of the fam in these comments and in the different communities, them Carolinas is hot. You just seen one of the Carolina boys pop in here. So yeah, it's just understanding how to, depending on the system you work in, what region, what area, what local, however you want to do it, it all depends. All right, Rich in Dallas now finna get them bags up out of there. I love it. Rich finna drop a bag and grab another bag. I love that. Rich is a bag collector just like the rest of us. But that's because everybody's starting to understand the systems. So with that said, yeah, fam, it's time to get up out of here. I hope everything, because I'm still on the high from that meetup. I'll tell you again, the next meetup will be St. Louis. It's going to be on June 27. All my H-Town people already know what time it is. St. Louis, June 27. Everything will be still being determined, the location and all that. I got to get up there and check on a few things with a couple of the fam. And once we get all that stuff ironed out and locked in, we'll get everything set up and put links in the description so y'all can start getting yourself in the building, because the only way you're going to learn how to create these systems is you either go to these conventions or you're getting these meetups, keep watching these lives, watch these videos, tap into a community, find a coach, mentor, go to school. That's the only way you're going to learn these systems. So I will get all that information to you when that time comes. But yeah, June 27 going to be the next meetup in St. Louis. But other than that, fam, it's time for us to get up out of here. You already know what time it is. If you're driving right now, just listen. Don't close your eyes and bow your head. I need you to be safe. But for everybody else, close them eyes, bottom heads. You know what time it is. Lord God, our Father, the creator of all, we want to first say thank you. Thank you for the successful meetup that we had yesterday with the fam. The Grind Center community came out and showed out like they always do, and we want to say thank you. We want to thank you in advance for the future meetups, the future information that we all grow and learn and obtain together, so that we can fully understand not just the system going on in the world, not just the system that we're trying to build for ourselves, but the system that you created to help us reach the heights, the levels of success, and the purposeful intention that you have designed for our life. We want to say thank you in advance for leading us in that direction and for the success coming our way. I ask that you keep everybody safe that's out here on these dangerous highways and byways this week. Help us so we all return to our families. Help us that keep prospering and through the prosperity that you have for us all as one. I ask these and many more blessings. And again, thank you. In your darling son, Jesus' name, amen. Yeah, fam. With that, we about to get up out of here. So y'all go ahead and relax. Your boy got to go get a load. So you know you're going to get a video before the next live. So yeah, y'all be safe. Y'all be good. Research your systems so you can understand them and know which one you want to go and where you want to go. So as we continue out this learning process of the year, you'll know how to develop your systems into your strategy. Do all of that. That's your homework. But as always, I'm about to get up out of here. But until the next video, y'all stay blessed.